need to show some of the things that we found during the week. I say we because, one, getting around to it and we go out and hunt together, and she finds surface finds and I find subterranean finds. And we also, because some of you guys are there hunting with me, so we find those things together, all of us. So we'll see how this goes. This is my first Friday wrap and wrap vertical feed. Uh-oh. Bird Kingery, how's it going? How's everything? Down your berries, how's it? This Friday, huh? Man, nice. Thank you guys for spending your time with me. Appreciate you guys coming in on a Friday afternoon and evening. So I'm trying a new camera view here. I've got my camera set up to where I'm looking at the chat. I'm hoping that I'm talking to you. No, but when it first starts, the chat's up there a little bit, so my eyes have to lift a little bit. So, anyway, this is just a little bit different for me, and the views are a little bit different, so I have to get used to those. Look at what we found. This past week, Wednesday and Thursday. Now this is going to be a little different, so I'm going to have to come over here and show this in. There's a cottlebell up there in the top right-hand corner, and I got some little beans that I found in that little glass over there, right here. What? So I got a little glass globe that I thought was marble. Then I've got a pendant that the stone fell out of, and a pin back, and a little rooster. Now I don't know what that was, whether it was glued onto something or whether it was broken off, a little tab or the eyelet broken off for a charm. But it was pretty cool, a little rooster head. And below that, 2 pieces of chain and a feather that I found with this little thing right here. And then I've got the raven skull. And this is a back off of something. I'm not sure what it is. It has a little tab on it. One of the tabs is bent over. I thought it was broken off, but it's actually bent over right there. And so then we got some foreign coins down here on the bottom. Copper penny, my only copper penny this week. And let's see. Then we got 4 rings. We got this little ring on Wednesday, the last dig of my hunt, and then getting around to it, found this little ring, and so that set us up at 80. And then I got this little gold ring, and you guys saw me find that. It was in the grass, laying pretty much on top of the ground, just mashed into the ground a little bit. And then the next one, I fully didn't expect it. Was surprised when I found the second one, but I had felt uh, that little feeling I feel. So, and then up here, we got a blacksmith's fork up top, and we got a piece of one of these coins that's all melted and broken. And then I got this little miniature one. This I'll bring it over to the close up in a minute here. But we got two. One, and I found one. And so on Wednesday, I also found this little seahorse, and getting around to it, found the tooth and the moon pendants and the glass bead. I found the little Scottish thistle pendant and the buckle. It's like off a football helmet or a baseball helmet or something, some kind of helmet, one of the sports here. And I think you might have remembered that I found this maple leaf pin. That's pretty cool too. And then yesterday I found that plastic poker chip that painted up to look like an old piece of coin here, or an old coin. Then I got these coins. And we'll look at them. I thought they were, I don't know why I thought they were Filipino, but I think they're Jamaican coins and a euro. I think I got a 20 right here. I got a 20-cent euro. And right here. So, yeah, I find a lot of these. I've got probably about 10 or 15, not quite 15, probably about 12 of these now. So, but I've only got 4 with chains. The rest of them are either broken, smashed, or just chains. But anyways, there's a little bit of a look at everything there. We'll get on with looking at close-ups. This is number 79, number 80, number 81, number 82. So we're only 18 away from that triple-digit number for the rings. Don Juan, hey, how's it going, Don Juan? Don Juan, you know what? I have to ask you to stop right now. I don't care what you feel about somebody else, disagreements, and claims about whatever you feel about them is not the place on my stream, partner. Not the place. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything about another person. If you have something against me, you go ahead and say it to me. But I don't want you coming and dissing anybody else. I don't care who it is. So this is a family-friendly channel. All right, family-friendly. All right, thanks. Thanks, brother. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry, but he doesn't do it on my channel. I'll tell him the same thing if he says anything about anybody else. No dissing anybody or anything. You have a real discussion, fine. All right? I really appreciate that. You're being straight up, brother. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want people to see what I'm doing. I'm sharing what I find, and I just want it to be about you and me, you guys and me, and what we find. All right? Thanks, Don Juan. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, so let's have a little bit of fun. I got something different here. You remember last week I was out at the beach at the lake, and it had um, an event. There was an Asian lantern lighting ceremony, and there were a lot of things out there. If you watched my live, you saw that I picked up pins and bracelets and hair ties and all kinds of things that were memorabilia of the event, all marked like these cards right here. Let's where's my there we go. Okay. I have right here a deck of cards and it says Water Lantern Festival. Can you read that? Yeah. Let's see. So it says Water Lantern Festival. So anyway, these cards have questions on them. So when I get to the point where you guys aren't saying anything to me or giving me any thing to talk about, I'm just kind of rambling on about myself. I'm going to ask you a question. For instance, the first card question is, who is one person you tell everything to? So I'd like everybody in chat to answer that. And just you don't have to say a name, but just a person of convenience. Come on, Don Juan. I don't want to time you out, really. I really don't want to time you out, but if you're going to keep it up, I have to because stuff like this is not good times. Thanks, H. Your cat. All right, there you go. Perfect. Just saying, it's hard to keep quiet when people twist the words and everything. That's just keeping it up. I ask you to think about something else, please. I don't want to time you out. And thank you for the answer. Your best friend, Irving. Appreciate that. I really want my lives to be acceptable to everybody, and there are a lot of people out there that don't like this kind of thing. Just no drama. The only drama I want is an ooh and an ah, okay? From what I did. This was a excellent find in a parking lot. I think they were trying to trap coyotes out there because it's a lake and there's a lot of coyotes out there. Thank you so much. So Then this was on Wednesday that I found that. And then yesterday, oh, this one's a little heavier. Yesterday I found this. So, oh, I got it upside down. So I'm digging up all kinds of history. It's no, actually, the lock is going to need some work, but check it out. The springs still work, and the jaw's open. But the lock here, I'm going to have to do some cleaning on the lock here because this lock portion and the trip pad, they're frozen, so I've got to work on those. Otherwise, it's in working condition. Yes, it would leave a nasty wound. So I I get excited. It doesn't have to be a gold ring, and nothing I found was gold. And I think this thing might be silver. So we'll find out. I'm going to test that. And it was with this little feather here. Yeah, forget tinnitus. Yeah. So must have been in their hair, tied in their hair. So the things that I'm getting here, explain it to anybody that's not on um, my lives or hasn't been on my lives. I'm partial to this park and lake that's fairly close to me, and it just keeps giving. You see all this stuff. I've been pulling things out of this for 3 years. This park lot and park. There's a Renaissance fair there, and every it starts closing off in March, opens up in April, and goes through the end of May. I think the last weekend is uh, May, uh, not quite Memorial Day, but then uh, for that 2 months, they're a month and a half, 2 months, people go to the Renaissance Fair. And a lot of the stuff that I find is just mainly bling, costume jewelry and stuff. I do find gold and silver, a lot of silver rings. People can afford silver rings, so they buy silver rings, and I find a lot. Oh, I bet. And I find every time I go to the beach, I find a lot of stuff too. But close to home, that's just what they are. I go to this lake a lot. And because of the Renaissance Fair, I find a lot of things. Here, we'll look at some close up things. Only two of y'all answered my question. Who would you uh, tell everything to? Or what? Who is one person or animal that you would tell everything to? Doesn't have to be a named person. You can say mom, dad, aunt, uncle, cousin, best friend. You can give a name if you want. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm glad you got a lot of friends already. You give me two answers. That's great. I appreciate that. I really do. The more people you can tell everything to, the better, right? I mean, if you can tell everything to anybody, uh, then you got nothing, no secrets. But anyway, okay, that one went over with Colonel H and Don Juan. Got some people watching. Okay, let's change the question. Okay. Let's see. There you go. Here's one. Now, be careful. What was your first impression of me when we met? I'm kind of interested in that one because I get a lot of impressions. Well, I had one uh, called BS on me when I found that Goldie ring. When I found this ring yesterday, a guy said that's BS. I call BS. But I just want you guys to know one thing. If you watch my lives, you'll know that I don't make anything up. I don't edit. If I edit something, I I edit it and just show you what I dug up. I don't try to plan it or anything. I don't want. Thank you, Colonel H. Thank you so much. I want you to see the reason I do lives is because I want you to see dig it up and what I'm doing before and after. You can't edit a live. Well, I can go back and edit it, but while I'm doing it, I can't. I can't. I can't do any editing while I'm digging. So what I dig and what I see on the ground, you see exactly the way I see it. Those two rings that I got yesterday, I told you before, I felt that they were going to be right on top of the ground because a lot of the rings that I find out there are right on top of the ground from this past Renaissance fair. They haven't been out there driving around on it, except for that one guy was doing donuts. But nobody's really been parking in that parking lot since June. It's the first week of June. So nobody's been running over things and pushing them into the dirt. So when the rain happened, whatever dirt was on top of anything, just that was blown over the top of anything, which happens, was washed off. The things just popped out of the ground. The one I found on Wednesday was laying right on top of the ground in the grass. It was pressed down to the ground. It wasn't just loose on top of the ground. Yeah, I had it out with my finger, but I didn't have to dig it up. It was 3 inches down. Yeah, there's a lot out there, and I keep apologizing for this in a way. I don't know why, but I have a dowsing feeling. I get this kind of a electricity, like electricity kind of crawling over your skin. I have that when I get close to something out there in that parking lot or any park or anything I feel that there's something there. And when I get that feeling, I got to keep going until I find it because it's there. And just like that ring, I told you there was one laying on top of the ground. The day before, I felt something was there, but I didn't say it was going to be laying on top of the ground. A lot of this stuff, I mean, that maple leaf that I found on Wednesday, this was really cool. It was laying right on top of the ground. So, these things are part of their bling that they wear on their costumes and things. And here's the thing about that is imagine going to a fair where like 90% of the event is drinking. You know, so when people stay out all day long, they go early in the morning and they stay out there all day long, they've drunk a little more than they want to, or even they realize. And then when they go back to their cars and it's dark, because there are no lanterns, there are no street lights, there's nothing unless the moon is full to light up the parking lot. So if they drop something, if they knock it off their costume or they break a necklace or drop a ring, they're not going to find it in the dark. So I go out there and find it. So 64 of my rings, no, 62 of my rings I found in this one park this year. The rest of them I found at the beach and other parks and a couple in parking lots. So, but out of the 82 rings, we found 62 of them, I think, that one park where people drop a lot of jewelry and stuff. I've gotten some gold rings out of there. I've gotten my best gold ring out of that park after the Renaissance Fair. I found that champagne diamond ring with 56 little tenth of a carat diamonds on it, and it was 18 karat gold. Sold $5,000, but it's not worth $5,000. I can only get probably the gold melt off of it. 18 karat gold. No, I have not found a gold coin. Really, on one, I have not found a gold coin. I will one day. That's on my bucket list. I will be in a place where they used gold coins. So I'll get there one of these days. I'm trying to build up my channel. I'm trying to build members for my channel and get enough contributions to where I can pay for the gas, replacement equipment and stuff that I can go places and do other places besides local places. I can get to the beach once in a while over here. I've been to Huntington Beach. I've been to Belmont Beach. I've been to Balboa Beach, Newport Beach. I've been to San Clemente. I've been to a lot of the beaches, Aliso Beach, Treasure Island Beach. I haven't been to all of them, but I've been to quite a few. Yeah, if I find a gold coin, that probably will go viral. At least it'll be shared out by everybody. So anyway, my questions aren't working out too good. I'd like a better response on my questions. Only one person. Thank you. Now I've got to go, Colonel H. Thank you so much. I've got to go and see who they are. So we have Stellar Outdoors. Congratulations. You're a new member. Till Pranks Do Us Part. Okay, I don't even remember somebody like that coming on my channel. That's Shannon Dalton. I remember Shannon Dalton. Congratulations, Frank Stewart Hart and Shannon Dalton. Congratulations, Martin Spife and Tours Prospecting. We have 5 new members thanks to Colonel H. And in my about, go to my links if you're not into the live. This is a shout out for Colonel H. His channel is in my links in my about. So check that channel out. He's got some nice videos. Did you guys see a poll come up? At least one person saw it, I guess. I don't know how many people. 7 votes. 7 people voted for the live hunt. Nice. Thank you so much. All right. We'll, before we get off the air here today, we'll end this poll and see what the answers were. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks again, Colonel H. I really appreciate that. One day, I really think I'm going to, there's some controversy on the vertical feed, right? Vertical feed. Instead of the horizontal feed. But you got to see this, because whether it is going to pay off for me the way that it makes it a lot easier for me to go hunting more often and further away. It's yet to be seen, but check this out. Yesterday, I broke my live up into 2. 508 Magnets, how are you today? Thanks for coming in. So, check this out. Yesterday, check out that line right there. I have, yesterday was the highest number of views that I had, and it's almost 22,000 views yesterday. So my first live got 14,000 views, and my second live got 6,700 views. New Marshall in town, there you are. Hey, here's a shout out from the new Marshall. His link is in my about as well. Go check him out. You can check him out from here because he's in my chat right now. You like my channel format? I know, but I can't argue with this, New Marshall. Look at those lines. Look at when I do the vertical feed. And let's see. That's just for the last 28 days. Let's just go back for the 365 days. Look at my feed. Look at all those horizontals down there, just right there. And now look at the vertical feed. Yeah, well, I guess it was them that forced. I cannot go horizontal out in the field live anymore. It just will not let me go on. It just sits and clocks. I can only go vertical. And I'm doing vertical here because I want to see if this makes a difference here. If it doesn't make a difference here at home, I'll go back to the horizontal. Or they've offered um, StreamYards has offered the ability to do horizontal and vertical at the same time. But then I'm going to have to contend with two chat lines. But maybe next week we'll try that. We'll try both horizontal and vertical, and you can pick whichever one you like. How's that sound? We'll. I want to be a channel that everybody wants to watch because of the content of it. I'm even going to do some members only feeds and see how that turns out. If I can get members, I think they're talking about a way to do a members only and allow people to become members to get in on the members only. And that might but I'm going to have a video that one day, like Don Juan says, I'm going to have a viral vertical video or a viral video of some kind. That I remember the first time that I ever got 17,000 views on a short, and I was just elated. I couldn't believe that 11,000 people or 17,000 people clicked on one short. And then when I got monetized, things changed. I don't know why my feed stopped. Shorts went down to less than 500 views. Then just everything quit. But them forcing me to go from horizontal to vertical, I'm getting views. So that means a couple of things. I've gotten in the last 28 days, I've got 172 new subscribers, which that's kind of nice. And I've gotten, because of Colonel H and a few others, freaking awesome. And I think even New Marshall has gifted my members, and that is excellent. I love that too. I cannot complain any about all of that. I've got about 20 members that every month. Some of them have been members, or most of them have been members for over a year. So I really appreciate you guys, and I'd like more people like that. Just want to be a member every month and see what I do, and I want to be able to go do things. But, it's like this. I don't know how you guys feel about finding something like this. I got elated because where it was in a parking lot, and I don't know what they were using it for coyotes. There's a lot of coyotes up there. But still, to find something like that and be able to dig it up at my age. And then yesterday, to find this, be able to dig that. Now, Wednesday when I go out, I'm going to thanks, New Marshall. I really appreciate that. I really do. Go back and get. I intend to go and try and find it. Wednesday, I'm going to take the spade out, and I'm not going to not hunt for the rings and things that I might find, but I'm mainly going after those deep targets of steel, the iron targets, to see what I get. I've got a trap and a pickaxe. Yeah, I can put a new handle in that. I don't care whether it's rusty or not. But it would. This thing is old. This thing is, I don't know how, but it's made out of metal. It's like completely rusted. I knocked all the crusty rust off of it, but I could put a handle in that, and I don't think that I could break the metal what was trying to crush with it. That doesn't work as a pickaxe right today, you know. But I know it's at least, 30, 40 years old, at least. Been in the ground at least that long. Yeah, I intend to go back to that spot and see if I can dig that chain out and the stake that it was with. So, because I'd like the whole thing to be together. Only Colonel H answered my question. Steven Stark, how's it going? How you doing, brother? Peace. Happy Friday. So, what was your first impression of ah when we first met? You can make it funny or stupid or make something up. I don't care. I do kind of want to know honestly what you thought of me and my channel. Let's make it like that. Me and my channel. I know what New Marshall thinks of me and my channel. He says he'd be here no matter what, no matter whether I'm on horizontal or vertical, and he likes all my content. So I know what he feels about it. And I know what Colonel H says he felt about me. He liked my content, and he liked me that I had an honest heart. So you've all met me different times. Don Juan, I met you a long time ago on other channels, but I think this time you, or maybe the second time you've been on my channel. But here's another item that I really like that I found day before yesterday. Because it's a Renaissance fair and because they have a blacksmith on site, the blacksmith makes these things. This is a 15th century design. 14th, 15th century. So this is what they used to make. And these are really cool. The people buy the replicas, but they're replicas by design, but they're actual, they're not that old, but they are actual utensils made the same exact way that they made them back in the 1300s, 1400s. So I thought that was really cool. Let's get it. I gotta get out of the way. Which way? Yeah, this way. So I've got the other one. But can't remember exactly what I did with it, but it's about this long. It's like over 2 inches long. So it's a barbecue fork. And this is a personal fork, so it's really cool. So let's take a look here. Nice, we're getting votes. for getting votes. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Colonel H. Guess who's back? Don Juan is back. This is for you, Don Juan. Whoops, wait a minute. I gotta turn back on my music here. Oh, come on. Why can't I scroll? There it is. There, that's for coming back. Better turn that down a little bit. I can't play CCR. I can only play what they give me to play. Sometimes I can, on a short, I can play some CCR on a short because YouTube owns that or has permission to use that for shorts under so many seconds, maybe 30 seconds, I think. But yeah, I can't play it on here. Wish I could. Wish I could pick the music that I want, but I can only use the music that they pick. Well, let's look at a couple of things. Let's see if I can get a little higher here. There we go. That's the pin that I found. And even this is made like an old pin would be made. I think this was made by a crafter in the Renaissance Fair. And it's made out of copper. It's really cool. And one of the coolest things about this is something that I can get my wife and are getting around to it because her family came from Canada. Her dad came from Canada. So that is maple leaf. And this camera, I wish all my cameras were like this one. Character Alley gave me this camera. And you see, if I go to this camera, I bought these other two cameras because of my limited monetary. See, these don't look so good. And somebody said last Saturday that it looked like it was my first vertical home I was testing to see. And somebody came on and said, looks like you're shooting through a potato or with a potato. So it's not that bad. I mean, you can see it's clear enough, but so the other camera though, it's a little higher end camera because it was a gift from my daughter and son-in-law. So the picture's a little better. Yeah, they're trying to be cheeky. That's, yeah. But I know there's no great value to these things that I find. But what I know from what I do, what I find, I picked up 26 new subs this week, Colonel H. Amen to that, Don Juan. Amen to that. So Yes, I did pick up some subs. 172 in the last 2 weeks since I started my vertical. I found out I could do vertical. I've um, done, but I guess 3 weeks now. It's been 3 weeks I've been doing verticals. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Oop. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11. I've done 11 verticals. And 11 verticals. I've gotten 107, over 100. I don't know how many of those were used from other things, but I know it wasn't 7,000. I didn't get 7,000 views on anything else. So over 100,000 views in the last 3 weeks. I got 844 watch hours in the last 3 weeks. And I got 177 new subscribers, of which 172 came from the live. Yes, sir. One man's junk is another man's treasure, or one man's treasure is another man's junk. Either way, but I look at all of this stuff as a treasure of sorts. Even the aluminum and stuff I dig up, I can melt that down eventually. I can melt all the aluminum down and make ingots out of it and make some okay money off of it for what little work I do, except the big cans. When I'm digging up the big cans, that that is that's hard work to dig deep for a whole can that's buried because it gives off a good signal. Sounds like it's right on top, and then you got to dig 6 inches for it or more. But back on next Wednesday, spread the word that I'm going to take my spade out there and we're going to mostly be digging the big iron sounds because I want to see what that piece of iron is. You guys seen that I found a lot of scrap iron, that scraps that I left in the ground because I couldn't dig. There were just so much of it underground I couldn't dig it out. And then a huge piece of metal I found last week and I had to leave it and go back and get it. And then this week I had to leave the trap and a couple of big chunks of iron plate and everything that's under the ground. And I found some like a oh, where's that? Give me a second. I gotta go. I'll be right back. Hang on. Okay, I'm back, and yeah, here's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that I found. First, I found this big old chunk of, oh, I just dumped dirt all over my lap. This big old chunk of plate. It looks like a skid plate. I think it is a skid plate. So that was out there, and it was fully buried, and I had to dig that out. Oh goodness, I got junk on me. I got to get the vacuum now. And hey, I found this lock out there. It's a combination lock, so I might be able to open it. Is that Tenneth? So anyway, that was a good find. That was laying on top of the ground too. So there's a lot of good finds on top of the ground. You don't have to dig all of them. The old ones, yes. Then I found this one. I thought at first this looked like a boot shoe or shoe anvil, but then a couple of you said that you thought it might be a replaceable pine off of an excavator bucket. I tend to agree with that. I'm pretty sure you're right. So this is some of the things I'd be finding out there. Oh well, I hope it wasn't a derogatory remark, Don. And myself, I'm fully in agreement with Charlie Kirk, what he lived for and what he uh, stood for. So anyway, that being said, let's not get into a battle. Okay. So um, anyway, so it's big chunks of iron like this that's out there. So if I get the replaceable tine to an excavator, a skid plate, a trap, and a pickaxe, what else am I going to get out there? Yeah, backhoe too. It's an excavator. Or backhoe, yeah. An excavator bucket. So I think that's some pretty good finds. Myself, they're not treasure, but they are relics. I like relics. If I'm in the right place, I might find an old musket or get the same signals or an ox yoke or who knows what. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing Wednesday. Okay, so don't let me forget. Don't let me forget. So next Wednesday, we're taking the spade out there, and the ground's going to still be moist because of the rain. So I'm going to have a better time digging it, and I won't be digging with a knife. There's only a miracle that I can dig enough around the trap and the pickaxe to get them out with my knife because they were pretty deep. Like, they were about 4 inches deep. Yeah, and so Took me a little bit to get them out. The spade would be a little bit better. That chain and the spike that was anchoring the trap. I'll get that too. But yeah, I'm having a blast in that parking lot. And yeah, I'd love to go to the beach. I'd love to go to the beach. I'd love to go to a battlefield. But what I'm getting, Big Body Rocky, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Um, Jenna Tolles. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to get my glasses on here. Tolles. I seem to Jenna. Did Jenna go to high school at Modesto High in Modesto, California? It's highly possible that I did because I knew a couple of Jennas in high school. Modesto, Modesto, California is iconic. It is now, sad to say, one of the worst crime-ridden cities in California, though. But it used to be really cool, especially back in the days of American graffiti. And he, George Lucas wrote and filmed American Graffiti and put Modesto on the Hollywood map. Yeah, it's one of the top cities of crime these days. Sad to say, that's my hometown. I was born there. Tis the truth. So, Big Body Roddy, did your wife go to high school in Modesto? At Modesto High in 64, 68 era? That'd be cool if somebody I knew in high school was watching my channel. That'd be cool. Spread the word. So let's go back to looking a little bit. Thank all of you guys for being in here, especially the new ones that I have not met before. 105487, thank you for being here. Thank you for the comments. I really appreciate the chat. I really do. From all of you, Colonel H, new marshal in town, and Don. And I really appreciate the fact that you're back and you are, stand-up guy, Don Juan. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm getting into the second hour now. Yesterday, both of my lives were pretty normal. They started out like right now. I've gotten up to like 12 people, I think, watching. Some of you are chatting, some of you are not. And I really appreciate the ones that aren't chatting too, just that you're here. And if you hit the like, you know, thumbs up, I really appreciate that. Let me know that somebody was here and interested in what I'm doing, even if you don't want to talk about it. But the thing is, um, what was my point? um, I'm trying to get the chat up. And yesterday, the chat, the live digs, I did two, and one of them got halfway through, a little over an hour, and then I really started getting a lot of feed, the vertical live feed and the short feed. And then the second one, the same way, the first hour was really quiet. And uh, well, thank you for that remark. I don't know why more people aren't on here either. I know I'm not the best looking guy. I'm not the best articulate guy. I mean, most of the time I start talking about something and I forget where I was. Back to where I was. uh, Now I've been on for an hour and 6 minutes. Now I fully expect the live feed to kick in and give us more people. I appreciate that. For 75, I'm doing all right. My wife thinks I'm good looking. So, but what else could a pretty lady want? Good looking guy. I, anyways, I know that I'm not the most thrilling guy. I'm not the most articulate. And I don't, you know, have that magnetism that draws people in as a creator. And I just do the best I can and share with you what I love doing. Thanks. So let's look at some stuff. You'd rather be looking at the stuff than this stuff. Okay. So the let's see. We have the Scottish thistle here. And let's get a little closer for some of this stuff here. Okay, now focus. Come on. Change the camera. No, I don't think so. It's not marked, but it might be. I haven't tested it yet. I thought it might be gold at first because it was tarnished like, but when I cleaned it, it doesn't look like gold. Come on. It's like, man, you're my best camera and you're not. There we go. I knew I'd get it sooner or later. So that's a Scottish thistle. That's their national flower for Scotland. So yeah, you'll be wearing one of these. You'd be wearing the Scottish national flower. That's a terrible Scottish accent. Sorry about that. But there's some things I'm going to test just to make sure. But this is not gold, and it's not marked 925. So, but it could very well be silver. And again, it could be brass. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that was on top of the ground too. I didn't have to dig that. That was mashed into the ground, but by the rain, I guess, rain hitting it covered it a little bit. But I could see it on top of the ground. So that was cool. And then getting around to it, found some interesting stuff. And these are, again, all of these are, uh, and this is just cheap chain, it's decorative stuff. And this was, I'm pretty sure, was worn on a piece of chainmail as decoration, a piece of chainmail that somebody was wearing. But she tried to get me to go where she found this, and I misunderstood where she wanted me to go yesterday, but I still found a bunch of stuff. I found that pickaxe and I found the coins. I'll get to in a second. And but she's got a good eye, and she finding surface finds. And she found this little moon pendant close to that. This is a little piece of crystal. I don't know what the tooth is made of. Probably plastic. I don't think it's a tooth. But this is actually, that may even be a piece of opal. Let's see. Let's look at it under the microscope. That might be a little piece of cheap opal. Well, chainmail that they make themselves, but it's legitimate chainmail. See this? I don't have one. See this link that's here, this big link that's holding it. That link right there. There's a little bigger link than that they make the chainmail out of, and they actually take those little rings and make real chainmail out of it. So it's not fake chainmail. It's actually chainmail that would work in the same era to prevent arrows and swords from piercing your body. It's actual metal, and they wear it. You put them together. They make these little rings, and they put it together. It's like part of their reenactment. Yeah, probably. It was close to the jousting area. Here, let's go to the microscope. Let's see what we find then. This little moon. This looks like it's actually a cheap piece of opal or crystal of some kind, because it has the cracks in it. It's not plastic. It's an actual stone. So that's pretty cool. I can get it a little. There we go. So maybe not. Well, it's got some gold fleck in it. No, maybe not. That's just the lights. No, there's a gold fleck in it. So it could be just a piece of crystal, uh, crystalline rock, or it could be a cheapie. Maybe white jade. So it's got the little flecks in it right there. Some that's glue there. See how it's cracked on the inside, and it's got some gold flecks right there. That's all fractured on the inside. some more gold flecks over here. So yeah, it could be a really cheap piece of opal, or it could be crystal. So we find these little things and we look them up, but unless you have a real bona fide jeweler, uh, I can tell you somewhat. I can look at a diamond and tell whether it's real or not under a microscope because oh, 40, 41 years ago, I was the manager of a store that had a huge jewelry department, and I was studying to be a gemologist because I had to uh, classify jewels, diamonds, and stuff. So I can tell whether something's real or not if I look closely enough at it. Diamonds nowadays, they're so clear, they don't have uh, uh, any flaws in them. Really, all the lab grown ones are just too perfect. So they look like diamonds, but yet aren't really real diamonds. You know what I mean? They're lab grown, so they don't have the flaws in them, and the exclusions and things. So, but back to the close up, but not this close up. Sorry about that. I'm talking and should be okay. So those are two of her great finds. And then I found this little guy here, and he's kind of cute. He's got multiple color enamel on. You're probably right about the quartz never being that white. It could be there's a lot of Asians that go out there and they wear a lot of Asian jewelry. So it could be a piece of white jade. It very well could be. It's definitely not a piece of plastic. So this little guy, I thought he was just a cheapy looking guy, but he's got some nice colors on him. But you see the pattern on the back? That means he's not precious. You see a pattern like that on anything. Here's another piece. This is a pendant that lost its stone and its eye. But then you think, well, that might be a little gold pendant, looking at it. But then you look at this, you see the pattern on the back, and then you see the flaws and stuff. It's not gold. But just seeing the pattern, if there was uh, no corrosion on it at all, it just looked gold, then if it was smooth on the back, you think you'd have a chance, but not with that pattern on the back. Yeah, the corrosion tells you too. I'm just going by the patterns, looking at the patterns right now. But that was a nice little charm. I had some kind of stone in it. Speaking of stones, I really got mad at myself yesterday for losing that sapphire stone. I'm sure it wasn't the true sapphire, it's probably a piece of glass, but I dropped it in my box and bounced out. And I could never find it. Even around to it, went over and looked for it. But I'm going to have to go back and look for it again. I know it's there. I just couldn't see it, and I wanted to move on. I didn't want to waste your time. Be looking for silly stone. But then we got these. These are nice replica. Push that over just a little bit there. And I got the smallest replica. No, I don't have any nuggets. You know, I had a little jar of nuggets that I found digging gold years ago, and we got in a tight and I sold them. So, but look here, I got this little miniature guy. A little miniature flute. I've never seen one of those. You know what I'm going to ask? See if my Gemini knows anything here. Let's let's include an AI in everything. Um, I don't give out my phone number over the air, Kenneth, but you can email me. My email's in my about. Okay, you can email me, and we can discuss that possibility of another, off the air. Okay. How many sized coins did they make in the 13th and 14th century?
Or denarius, new larger silver coins like the groat or grosso, and major gold coins like the florin and ducat or noble were introduced across Europe in the 13th and 14th centuries.
Huh. I need, well, let's see if a lens will give me any possibilities here. That gave me names of coins, but not sizes of coins. Let's see if it says about these coins. It just has kind of one size in the replicas. Don't know where that little one came from, but definitely the same type of decorations. Actually, this one, pushing the wrong way, sorry. There's a little different pattern on the back. This one has that pattern, different pattern, even yet. I have to do a little more research on the patterns of the coins because they are replicas. They know they represent reality. Reality. That's fair, Kenneth. So, yes, he does have his hands full tonight. Well, I don't see my numbers going up like they did yesterday in the second hour. see. And I can't see anywhere the likes that I might have. Can somebody tell me why aren't they showing up? I only have one like on myself on the YouTube channel. What's the deal? It's not showing my likes. Okie doke. 10 likes. That's, that's good. Thank you so much. Really? Okay, now we got the two rings. Oh, wait a minute. Where's my, there it is. Okay. Get back to studio. This little ring is gold plated. It's not anything special. This is the one I found Wednesday. It has one little stone or two little stones in it, a little diamond in the center. So this was number 79. Come on. And is gold plated. It doesn't have any markings in it. There's something in the bottom of it. It's not markings. Something but real faint. Let's see what the microscope says here. What's going on is I'm trying to get my thoughts together here. Let's go. So this was oval and definitely not gold. Just come on. So it's just a couple scratches in it. Has no markings in it. So then the other one, gold but no markings. I believe it's gold plated as well. But it has a little hole in the back where the stone is. So I have to test this one. Definitely have to test it, because generally a fake ring, even a gold plated ring, doesn't have a hole that goes all the way through where uh, the diamond is. And it's a little bitty diamond. It's a little, I believe it's heart shaped too. A little bitty heart shaped stone. It's very cool. T-Rap! Rawr! How's it going? So this one I'm definitely going to test. Even though it's not marked, it has a strong possibility of being gold, because it doesn't, it's scuffed and not showing any other colors underneath. And it could be a toe ring because of this. And see how the end of it is worn there, and it's not worn through, it's still gold on the end. So it's possible that this is a gold ring. The tines that are holding the stone in look like they're you know what, I can test right now just to my test result. Oh no, it's right here. I can test both right now. Hang on a second. And I will be right back with my stuff over here. It's a tiny ring, a tiny stone. I thought I had this in the other room. I have it here. So let's test it right now. Just to be while I'm getting my stuff together here, answer me this question. What's your favorite comfort food? Yeah, I thought that was a lion. Got a button that has a lion's head on the button. That's pretty cool. Look at that while I'm doing this. Tootsie Rolls? Chicken piccata? Sukiyaki? Nice. So, all right, oops. First, I think we'll test the diamond. Is if the diamond's real, it's going to be a little bit hard to test because it's so small. Wouldn't this be neat if it was a gold ring? If it really was a gold ring, that would be cool. It's all get out. So we're going to wait a minute here for the diamond tester. If the diamond's real, there's a better chance of that ring being gold. But it has, generally, if the diamond is not real, it doesn't have a hole behind it. It has a hole to help reflect light. So let's see. Okay, it's lit up now. And let's change cameras here. And so we'll test it. I'm going to turn the tester around and see. It might be too bright. Let's see. And I'm not going to be able to hold it up in front of the camera because I can't see the diamond. No, it's not. The diamond's not real. The hole is a fake. You know, I mean, trying to fake you out by being fake. Not a fake hole. It's a real hole, but it's so the likelihood of it being gold is nil. But we're going to test it anyway and see. So we're going to find a good spot here. And let's see. Let's see the ring. It's gold plated. See that where it rubbed off there? I think it rubbed off. No? No. It's just light reflecting off of it. Okay, it didn't rub off. So let's see what we get here. Got 10 karat. Okay, is it disappearing? It looks like it is. It's not a dating channel, Kenneth. Sorry. Well, it looks like. Let's see what 14 karat does. Because it looks like the gold is underneath the 10 karat. Oh my goodness. Looks like it's holding up under the 14 karat. I don't know whether I have enough room there to get the 18 karat on it without running into the 14 karat. Oh, no, not quite getting it on there. Okay, 18 karat ate it away. So there, 14 karat. So I've got well, so 10, 14, 18, 18 ate it away. 10 and 14 stayed. So it looks like I got a 14 karat ring. Okay, Colonel, thanks for being here. I appreciate the fact that you were here and all that you do. And thank you again for the 5 new members. Appreciate it, brother. We did get a 14 karat gold ring. Well, I'm sorry, Kenneth. And, you know, there's only a few people that chat anyway, but I'm not getting any big surge of people on this vertical feed from my house. So I don't know what that is all about. I get a lot of people out there coming in on uh, my live stream when I'm hunting. I get a lot of people. I was hoping that I'd get a lot more here and a lot more people we talk. But, see you later, Colonel H. Well, I'm sorry about that. I was hoping that those things would be brought into my channel. No remorse or anyways. I try to keep everything copacetic. Okay, we do have a 14 karat ring. And then this one I thought was silver, but it's just silver plated. But it's got a nice looking opal in it. And now that's for sure an opal. Come on. Why won't you focus? Come on. Don't know why my best camera is not focusing. Yeah, it definitely giving me a bad time. It looks really nice out in the sun. Well, that's a little better. It's focusing, but it's further away now. Let's see if I can get it under the microscope to see a little better. But I believe it's a silver plated ring, but I think it is a real opal. But it's not, doesn't, it's just glued in. It might be a fake opal. They could make a fake opal that would look pretty good. This has got a lot of colors in it. That could be glitter in plastic, but it's not scuffed up like plastic. Yeah, it would be really nice if it was real. Of course, I used to dig opals, and um, to get the right spot, you can get a lot of opals. But this is definitely a silver plated. It's definitely silver plated. It's not solid silver. There's no marks in it. My fingers are so bad at, especially on this format, the vertical. It's really hard to get your pieces in that little slot that they're showing. This definitely, you can see the grooves in the ring. It's definitely silver plated. Or heat a needle and stick it with a needle. Yeah, I'll have to try that. It does look good though. In its own way, it's pretty. It's a pretty little ring. So that one was number 82. And then a couple of other things here before I go off. I'm going to be leaving in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. So we'll look at a couple more things here. We have the buttons. We have the lion head button, and this. I collect buttons, even these buttons here. Liberty buttons. I collect these. I find a lot of these in the park. They're playing out in the park and stuff. They lose the buttons off their jeans. This one, though, has, let's see, a lion's head. And then this one is like a shield here. Costume jewelry up here. These two. And then this is Levi's, or not Levi's, Liberty jeans. And this was kind of neat. We got this little rooster head. It didn't have a loop on it or anything. I don't know exactly. It must have been glued onto something for some reason. Definitely a rooster head. And that's the only other interest. Oh, the feather. We got the feather here, along with this piece. And this piece is a hair piece, and it's like 7 inches long or so. And then I'm going to test it right now. I think it's silver. Not quite sure. Definitely looked like it was tarnished, like silver. Let's see. Quench my thirst for knowledge on this. If it doesn't scratch at all, it's definitely not silver. Nope, it's not silver. It's stainless. Yeah, it's definitely stainless. It's not scratching hardly at all. Silver would scratch a lot better than that. Well, thank you for coming in. Till pranks do us part. Thank you for coming in, and you're welcome, Colonel H. Thanks to Colonel H, you are one of my newest members. Thank you so much for coming and saying hi. I appreciate that. So I'm going to test that anyway. I don't think it's silver. The scratch is off. But let's see. Let's see what the acetate says. It will confirm that my suspicions that it's not silver is right. And it did silverish when I found it. And we'll see right now. Yeah, nope. It turned black. Well, you can't even see it on that there, but the tint is black, not red. So it definitely is stainless steel. So voila, my bubble. But the ring is 14 karat gold. So that was good news. And then I got this little guy here. Oh, clean that off. Got a little bit of so we got the raven skull with a chain, a full chain. Okay, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about this. But no, I can't have it anymore. So, okay, so anyway, please, family friendly and drama, zero drama. Okay, we're just talking about stuff. You have something to say about what I find and my personal thing, we can talk, but I just don't want that type of thing in my channel. Sorry, can't do it. Okay, breaks do his part. Metal detect when I can, but enjoy seeing your finds. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, I'm just glad I found something to show. And yeah, it's not all the greatest things, but it is what people drop. It was treasured to somebody at the time, and that's the way it goes. Find what people drop. And if I was in a battlefield, I'd find mini balls and all kinds of stuff. Civil War battlefield. It was like over in Europe during World War II, the battlefields over there. I find World War II stuff. Here I find pseudo history. This is all pseudo history. This is replicas of things that people did in the 13th and 14th century. And, thank you for the comment. You like seeing my finds. I like showing my finds. I like to show up close what I find out there. I like doing my live hunts because you see me dig it up and you know that it's real. It's fake and nothing dropped. Even when it's on the surface, it's not been dropped. It's actually pressed into the ground 90% of the time. Right when they first drop it, if I find it, it'd be fresh on top of the ground, and that's still a legitimate find because they dropped it. I didn't find it, and I really appreciate that. You like to see it. So anyway, what do we got here? Okay, let's go back to me. I gotta say goodbye, you guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for being here, all of you. New Marshall, Colonel H, Kenneth, Don Juan, till pranks do us part. Really appreciate that. You came in after you got the membership. Come back and see me again in my live hunts if you get a chance. T-Rep, always a pleasure to have you. And you guys are awesome, every single one of you. And I appreciate that. I wish that my live had gotten a little more action today, but you know what? All of you guys make it worthwhile. Thank you so much. God bless you all for being who you are and being here. Uh, love you guys. Take care. See you next week or around on other channels. So I will be back in the fields at 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock on Wednesday next, and we'll dig up some big iron. All right. So come and see me then. Let's hunt. Stay safe. Stay well. Later, Gators.